guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So today I wanted to talk about a recent event that I went to at Estarland and talk about some of the pretty awesome items that I picked up there and a few bonus items that I scored the other day. So let's go ahead and check it out. So I recently did a video on my trip to Estarland. Now that is actually a store in Chantilly, Virginia, and this is one of the many events that they actually host during the year. So I decided to try out their GamersXchange event and see if I could find any awesome deals there. So this was actually back in February. There was live music there. They had gamers and vendors there. They had tons of extra items. There was raffles, auctions, and it was only one day. So I went there with this big expectation, and of course when I got there, things didn't go as planned. So of course how it works is the entire store is open, and you don't actually pay for the items with the particular vendors that are set up there in the back of the store. You actually have to take a little card or a little ticket, bring it up to the front, pay for the item, walk back to the vendor's table, purchase the item. So there's not really too much room for haggling, and you can't actually trade any of the items that you bring with you. So if you bring any items expecting to trade, you have to sell it directly to the store. So that's actually a lot different than a lot of video game conventions that you may go to. So you may actually bring tons of items, expect to directly trade with whoever set up. Well, that didn't actually happen. And then there wasn't really too much room for haggling or making any deals from the store itself, as the owner wasn't actually there. They told us, because I went with a buddy of mine, that if we wanted to make any deals, we would have to directly email the owner and he would get back to us within 72 hours. Which I thought that was a little crazy, that the owner wasn't even at the location. They weren't willing to haggle on any of their items, and a lot of them were actually posted around eBay prices. Some were actually more expensive in the store than on eBay. So I thought that was just crazy. And, you know, you had to actually look for particular deals or items that were less expensive in store than on eBay. So I didn't find too many items, but the ones that I did were ones that I've been looking for. They weren't actually in their inventory, so they had to actually look up these items. Some I've actually been on the lookout for quite some time. So they did have tons of items there. It was just a little bit difficult to find certain deals, as not everything in the store is on their website. And of course their website actually crashed while we were there, so it was very difficult to find some of the prices. So we'll start out with this Atari Jaguar game. So this is one that I actually had on the list for quite some time. So this actually is Kasumi Ninja, and this one is a fighting game. So if you guys are familiar with the Atari Jaguar, you'll know that this is actually a Mortal Kombat clone fighting game. So when the Atari Jaguar came out, they had to add this fighting game to go ahead and compete with Mortal Kombat. So this has tons of blood, tons of gore in here. So it's definitely a pretty crazy title. But of course it doesn't add up or compete with Mortal Kombat. So this game was definitely on the list. It came with this pretty awesome instruction manual, which I'm hoping will have tons of moves in here. So I can't wait to actually play this game and give it a fair try. But I'm sure it won't compete with Mortal Kombat, because I know and love that game so much. So this game will definitely be interesting to try out. And then this game right here. So this is for the Panasonic 3DO, and I saw something about this game and I had to add it to my collection. So I do have quite a bit of Panasonic 3DO games in the collection. This is actually called PO'd. So this is one of those Doom style first person style games. So you actually can run around with either a gun or a frying pan. So you can go ahead and kill people with a frying pan. So I had to pick up this game and try it out, as it's just so wacky and crazy that, you know, I thought it would be pretty interesting and fun to try. So I can't wait to actually try out this game and see how well it actually holds up. Then on to some Nintendo games. So these are just cart only, and these are for the original Nintendo. These are both shoot 'em up style games. So here we have this Cybernoid, the fighting machine. So this one actually looked pretty crazy, and I'm really excited to try it out. Can't believe I haven't played it before, as it looks like a pretty awesome shooting style game. And then on to this Nintendo game, we have another shoot 'em up style game. This one has high ratings. This is Section Z. So I had to score both of these shoot 'em up style games and add them to the NES collection, as I really enjoy going back and playing a lot of these style games on the original Nintendo. And then they also had this game. So this is another fighting style game. This is Guilty Gear, and this is XRD. So this is a limited edition of this game, and this actually has quite a few things in here. So I'll go ahead and open this up. So here we have this sleeve that just pops right on over. It actually looks like this book right here. So this actually has some detail on it. It actually looks really cool. So when we open this up, it has this book in here. So this is Guilty Gear Codex, and it looks like it's barely been used. So here we have a lot of the different character designs, character artwork in here. So this looks really awesome. It's actually pretty thick. It has a lot of pages in here. And then we move on to some other designs. And of course there's some information that's pretty helpful with the game. So it has 60 some pages, so that is pretty sweet. And then we have this right here. So of course we have the vocal collection. So this is the soundtrack. So it has a lot of songs on here. It's actually still sealed. Then we have this keychain. So it actually says free. It's a metal keychain. And then on to the game. So here we actually have a copy of this Guilty Gear game. So I really can't wait to actually play this game and try out the fighting moves. So here it actually comes with this little instruction manual. So that's really cool. You don't generally see that nowadays, especially in PlayStation 4 games. So here we have tons of information on practice mode, tutorial mode, challenge mode, mission mode, training mode, and just tons of items about the characters in here and their moves. So that is really awesome that it has this, as that'll definitely come in handy when I go through a lot of these characters in the game. So it says the latest entry in the Guilty Gear universe is here. A revolutionary 2D, 3D hybrid fighting game. A host of new characters joins the roster. Fully animated story now in full gear. An in-depth tutorial mode to get novice players up to speed. A feature-packed network mode. So this will be a lot of fun playing. So I actually saw quite a few other items that I wanted there. They actually had tons of Steel Battalion controllers, complete in the box, but they weren't doing anything with them. So they were actually behind the counter. Me and my buddy were interested in buying a set each of that controller, but we wanted to see if they'd do a little bit of a discount, whether it was just a couple dollars off or if they had anything that they could do, because those are very expensive controllers. They actually had them listed for over $350, which eBay prices are around that, maybe a little bit less. You can score one on an auction on eBay, but I like to see things in person and actually see the condition of everything. So I asked if they would go ahead and do a discount or any special deal if me and my buddy both bought one, but they weren't willing to budge on the price at all. They wouldn't get a hold of the manager or the owner of the store, and they told us to go ahead and email him and he'd get back to us in 72 hours, which we never got an email back. So we ended up just squashing that idea, but we wanted to actually buy a little bit more when we were there, spend a lot more money, but they weren't having it. So overall, I did find quite a few items. It was just a little bit different setup than what I'm used to, especially at video game conventions or doing trades and things like that. So this was definitely a different style event than what I'm used to, but I am excited that I did find quite a few items that I have been looking for quite some time. So on to a couple items right here. These are both limited edition pins that you could only get from Disney, and my buddy actually picked these up for me. So I really thought that these were cool pins, as they say Kingdom Consoles Entertainment System. So it actually looks like a little Nintendo system right here. It has a little controller, and it has this cartridge that's actually movable in this little system. So it actually looks like you're playing the game on this TV. So of course this one we have Beauty and the Beast, and then we have the Jungle Book. So these are pretty cool. They do make a whole series and a whole set of these pins. So I have 2 to start with, and I'll have to try and complete the full set and try and get some others. And then on to some PlayStation games. So I actually scored a couple PlayStation 4 games, and GameStop was actually having a sale where a certain number of games you actually got a couple for free. So this essentially lowered the price of all the games. So of course I had to pick up this J-Stars Victory vs. Plus game. It says over 50 characters from 32 different series. Enjoy a grand adventure with your heroes and fight with your friends in local and online matches. So this has tons of characters, and I'm really looking forward to actually fighting and playing with these characters. So this will be a lot of fun. And then this game, I've actually been wanting this game for quite some time. Looks pretty creative, and it looks pretty awesome. It's called Mother Gunship, and this is a pretty sweet style game. So this, you actually fight, craft, and resist. So it says destroy giant bosses in unique first-person shooter or this bullet style hybrid gameplay. Craft or design your own destructive arsenal with one of the most expansive gun crafting systems ever, and enlist your friends in a full online co-op experience. So it says join the resistance. Earth has been conquered by a horde of robotic alien invaders, and it's up to you to defeat them. Soldier. Craft gun monstrosities, dodge hundreds of bullets, and survive non-stop combat as you battle your way to the heart of the fleet to destroy the Mother Gunship. So this just looks like a crazy shooting style game with a little bit of creativeness in it. So I can't wait to try it out. And then I realized I hadn't actually had Dead Space in my collection. So this says there's no help coming. So of course I have a couple of the other Dead Space games. I did play this back in the day on the Xbox 360, but I didn't have it in my collection, so I must have played it at a friend's house. And I'm really excited to try out some of these pretty horror-esque style games. So this one I had to score for the PlayStation 3. Then I also scored this Ratchet & Clank, and this is Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction game. So this one's also for the PlayStation 3. Now I did play a lot of these on the PlayStation 2 growing up, so I can't wait to try out this one. So this has a really thick book in here that'll help with the game, and I can't wait to try it out, as I had a lot of fun playing this series and a lot of other series on the PlayStation. And then on to some Nintendo games. So along with this coronavirus, I had to pick up Zombie U, as this is another zombie style game. So I figured I'd try it out on this Nintendo system, as I haven't really heard anything about it. It's a pretty inexpensive game, and I don't really know how it plays. So it says zombies have brought London to its knees. Use your Wii U gamepad, the ultimate survival kit, and fight back. So it says over 15 ways to use the Wii U gamepad. So I figured I'd try out this style game and see what it's like. And then on to some Nintendo Wii games. So here we have Escape from Bug Island. So it says the creepiest survival horror game for the Wii. You wake up alone in a deep and fog-covered forest. Your friends are nowhere to be found. So it says there's bugs, obstacles, time travel, and survive. So it's a very inexpensive game. Came with the manual and everything. I figured I'd try it out. And then this Anubis 2. So this one looked like an interesting cartoony style game. So this says, long ago an evil spirit plunged the land of Egypt into darkness. The gods have called on the only one that could save Egypt and rid the sands of evil monsters. So here it says you must battle your way through the ancient cities of Egypt and encounter maniac mummies, stinging mosquitoes, and swarms of deadly locusts. So this looked like a pretty cool adventure style game. It also comes with the manual and the disc, and this was very inexpensive as well. And then this Army Men, Soldiers of Misfortune. So this one definitely brought back some memories of some of those PlayStation 1 games that I used to play, these Army Men style games. So this one actually looked pretty cool and pretty fun, so I figured I'd try it out. Also came with the instruction booklet and the game disc. So even though this event was very different from what I had originally expected, I still enjoyed myself, and I did find quite a few items that have been on my list for quite some time. So I was pretty excited to pick up these items and just enjoy the day finding some of these items. And then of course my recent trip to GameStop was also pretty good. So I did find quite a few items that I'm really looking forward to trying out. Some of these games I haven't played in quite some time, and I'm really looking forward to trying out some of these for the first time. So overall, I can't be any more thrilled with some of these items that I added to the game collection. So if there's anything that you see here that I must play, drop a comment below and let me know which games are really good, which ones are pretty fun to play, and which ones I have to play first. So of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.